Hey guys, welcome back. Happy New Year. Oh my goodness, guys. We are so blessed to have made it through this year. 2022 may have not been the best year for some of us. It may have been a little rocky, but at the same time, there were a lot of great moments, there were a lot of great memories that were made. And guys, I am so excited and blessed to be here in 2024 with you guys. Isn't that insane? But guys, seriously, I just wanna thank God for you watching this video and for all of my friends and family who got to make it to this year. We all know it is a blessing to have made it this far. Some people are not fortunate enough to make it to this year. So all praises and thanks to the Most High. Anyways, guys, today's topic is about traveling. You guys asked, and I'm delivering.
I get a bag and you know I go missing. I gotta stack up a mill in a minute. I gotta stack up a mill in a minute. In a minute, yeah. I gotta stack up a mill in a minute.
You guys asked me, how did I start traveling? So here it is. So the first thing is, don't overthink it, because a lot of people literally talk themselves out of things. Before they even think of doing something, they already talk themselves out of it. They already think of all the negative scenarios instead of thinking of what could possibly go right? So some people are very, very big at sabotaging and manipulating themselves into not living their best life. We're not doing that in 2024. No, no. Let's take a pause. Like, none of that. None of that. We are not sabotaging ourselves. We are not manipulating ourselves into living mediocre when we could be living our best life. Okay? No, we're not doing that. So, guys, when it comes to traveling, for me, I started off by traveling in the States. So, I would do trips from New York to Florida because that's where my mom's side of the family reside. And because I know out of the country can be very scary, you thinking, am I going to be safe? What happens if I don't have no phone service? I don't have a map. What if the map doesn't work? We have a lot of questions because at the end of the day, traveling out of the country, we all know that it's not going to be the same thing as the state. Everything is not as convenient. So you have to keep that in mind when you are traveling out of the country, which is why it's usually scary to even think about traveling out of the states. But I'm here to help you out. So if you are someone who desperately want to travel, but every single year you plan a trip with your friends in a group chat and the trip never makes it outside of the group chat, and you do it over and over every year, and then finally you're like, okay, well, I really want to travel. What now? Well, I suggest you start traveling by yourself. I would suggest you start in the States. Do mini trips, like there's a lot of places in the States to visit. If you don't live in Florida, then Florida. Try Miami, try Orlando. You can go to Disney, you can go to SeaWorld, you can go to Universal. There's so much to do in Orlando alone. And then you can go to Miami where the heat is really at, okay, where you can literally do everything from riding jet skis, boat tour of the richest houses, and let's not talk about concert. There's always a festival, there's always a concert, and you can go to South Beach. Personally, I don't know if South Beach is all that right now, because when you watch Scarface, the South Beach that I saw in Scarface is not the South Beach that I'm seeing right now. So personally, I don't care for South Beach. If you live in Florida, you don't care for South Beach. But if you are someone who don't live here and you are traveling through it, yes, South Beach is for you for sure, because there's a lot to do in Miami. Wynwood, listen, you're gonna have a blast. Design District, Bayside, all of the stuff. Like there's so much to do in Miami alone. Now I'm not promoting it because it's already full. But I'm just saying, if you are someone who's just looking to travel, those are some of the best places to start. Florida is where it's at. And there's so many other cities that are fun. I heard Jacksonville is rising right now. I heard it's thriving when it comes to tourism. So that's another place you can go to. And you can go to New York. Go see Times Square. Go see the World Trade Center. Go see the Statue of Liberty. Like, there's so much to do. And let's not even talk about the rooftops in New York. New York has the best rooftops in the States, to me. Now, I don't know. You guys may have seen some better ones. But then again, this is not for those of you who have seen better ones. Those are for the people who are asking advice on how to travel. So I'm pretty sure they have not seen the best rooftops. Just saying. But yeah, guys, start in the States. You can go to Colorado if you're someone who's interested in skiing, snowboarding and ice skating, all this stuff. go ahead. You can go there and have fun. And there are so many other states that are like little gems that nobody know about. Even Boston. Go to Boston. Boston, there's this they have this thing called the Funary, I think it's called. But yeah, you go to Boston, they have this hall of food where you walk in and all you see is food. And every time you thought that this is the food you wanted, then you walk a little more and you're like, oh shoot, I think I want this one instead. Like it just keeps going and going because there are so many options and so much food there that you will feel indecisive. If you've never been indecisive, that will be the time you are indecisive in your life. And there's so many historical sites to see as well in Boston. So yeah, you can do that. Go to LA, do some hiking. I wouldn't say go see the Hall of Fame. I saw it, it was trash. Like there's so much to do in the States alone. And I have been seeing some reels about other towns in the States that looks like it's outside of the country, but it's in the state. Personally, I want to go visit them. But the only thing is, it's really expensive. When you see those many towns, they're like, oh, did you know we have this in the state? Blah blah blah. Obviously, we didn't know because it's so expensive and overpricing. When you could literally catch a flight out of the country, get the same experience for less money. Now, I'm not saying you should do that, but I'm just saying. Now, if your money is right, by all means, go ahead and explore the little towns in the state that I have yet to be discovered by many people simply because it's too expensive. So yeah, start in the States and then eventually you will feel comfortable enough to go out of the country. Now, let me tell you guys why personally I like traveling solo. I don't mind traveling with friends, but let me tell you the benefits of traveling solo for me. First of all, when you travel solo, you are on your own schedule. You don't have to pressure anybody to do the activities with you. You don't have to wake anybody up for the excursion because everybody wanted to get drunk the night prior and not able to wake up the next morning for the excursion that you've already paid for. You don't have to deal with that. And if you go out, you get to say when you're ready to go to bed. You have no one to say, but I want to keep dancing. He's cute. I think I want to take him back to the hotel. So let me keep talking to him before we leave. Like, you don't have to deal with that. Now, I'm just saying, like, those are some scenarios during girls' trip. And also, you can literally do whatever activities you feel like doing. And if you feel like talking to someone, you can do that without worrying about your friends. Because some friends, when you are on a trip with them, they're not okay with you talking with strangers and just having conversations. It's like we're here together. We should be talking and creating content together, whatever. Like you shouldn't be talking to people. Like, but in reality, that's what traveling is about. It's to mingle with people. It's to meet different people with different backgrounds, cultures, etc. There is nothing like a genuine human connection where you have a conversation with someone on a trip. Like it's literally the best feeling. Now, you might explore good food, good historical sites, etc. But like meeting someone and you guys just have good conversation and just enjoy the vacation all together, that's like fun. I feel like as human, I know some people hate people. If you're somebody who hate people, this doesn't apply to you. But I personally, I love people. I love meeting people. I love hearing their background stories. I love hearing where they come from. I love hearing what they do for a living. I love hearing how they get to where they are. I am a people person, so for me, I don't mind going on vacation and just talk to like 100 strangers a day. That's fine by me. I'm exaggerating a little bit, but yeah, I don't mind. Let's talk. I love human interaction. So yeah, there is a lot of benefits traveling solo. You can go backpacking where you literally in a different city every other day and just enjoying yourself. Oh, another thing about traveling solo, you don't have to worry about somebody being irresponsible and showing up to the trip with only $200. And then when the bill comes, they want to tell you, well, I'm officially out of money. And now you are forced to cover this person's bill when they knew about the trip. You planned it together. They knew there was going to be excursions. They knew that you guys were going to go out to eat. They knew you guys were going to go out for drinks. They knew you guys were going to have a blast. And when it comes to traveling, you're always going to need money for the things that you want to do. If you really want to enjoy a vacation, you need money. You can't just show up on a trip with $200 and think that's going to cut it. It's not going to cut it. Unless the plan is to go to your Airbnb or hotel and just stay there the whole time, lay by the pool, that's fine if that's what you want to do. But if you want to go on a trip and actually enjoy the place, you need money. Personally, I feel like if you go on a trip and you just want to lay by the pool That's a vacation. There's a difference between traveling and a vacation. Traveling is when you go and you do all of the exploring. Vacation is when you go somewhere, you want to lay by the pool, you want to read a book, you want to go by the beach. You're taking it slow. It's a vacation. You just want to relax, get massages and stuff like that. That's a vacation. But if you are traveling, you want to travel, you have to explore the country or the state. So definitely need money for traveling. Okay, so now let's touch into the financial aspect of traveling. Now, when I first started traveling, I was working a 9 to 5. So what I would do is that I would book trips that would only last a weekend. That way, like for example, if I don't work Friday, I will book a trip from Friday to Sunday night or Monday morning, depending on what time I work that day. If I work at 4 p.m., I'm doing Friday to Monday morning. Yes, yes, I am like that. Yes, I know there are cases where your flight is delayed. Oh well, they're just gonna have to miss me for that day. They know I was on the trip. They're just gonna have to miss it. It's not my fault the plane is malfunctioning or delayed. So they're just gonna have to deal without me. Because at the end of the day, if you were to die during that trip, you would be replaced instantly. So yeah, they'll be fine one day without you. So yeah, you book the trip from Friday to Monday morning. If you work in the morning, so you might want to do from Friday to Sunday night, which is fine as well. And don't get me wrong, there's so much you can do in 2 days. If you know you only have those 3 days to make the best out of a trip, I promise you're gonna find a way to. You are not going to be tired. You're gonna want to do everything because when I do those short trips, there is no gap in my schedule. I know what I'm doing from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. I know what I'm doing from 10 a.m. to 12. I know what I'm doing from 12 to 2 p.m. Like literally, there's no gaps in between. There's no time to waste. We are going to be booked and busy the entire trip. Now, those are the trips if you want to like explore. If you're trying to reset before going back to work on Monday, that's a different situation. You can do something as small as a staycation. You literally just book a hotel in your hometown and you go there and just chill, you know, read a book, go enjoy the free massage that they have, sit at the bar, have a drink by yourself. You can have as many drinks actually because you just go back to your room and relax. Like you can do that if you're just trying to reset before going back to work on Monday. But if you are someone who's looking to travel and you're really making the effort that will lead you to eventually be comfortable to go outside of the country, then yes, absolutely book those 2 day trips and make sure your schedule is full. Like you know what you're gonna do from A to Z. Because again, you're here to explore. You're not here to chill. Now let's talk about the time aspect. If you are someone who work a corporate job, obviously you might want to start off by doing weekends getaways. But if you are someone who work remote, you can literally work from anywhere in the world, then there's no boundaries for you. There's no limits. You literally can pack up and go anytime. You just have to make sure you have Wi-Fi wherever you are going. Most likely the Airbnb has Wi-Fi as well as hotels, so you're good to go. But for my corporate babes, book that weekend trip. And also always use your PTO. I don't know why people sit on their PTOs. They literally just let it pile up as if they know when they're gonna die. Like maybe some of you guys know when you're going to die, but there is no reason for you to let your PTO pile up when you could literally be using it. Use it. When I used to work a corporate job, listen, the minute I see my PTOs have like 2 or 3 days, I'm using it. I'm using it. I don't care. I'm just gonna figure out something and use it because I don't know when my time is going to be up. You always need a break. You need that rest. And sometimes you refuse to take a break when that's actually what you need. So always use your PTO, guys. Don't just wait until your 2 weeks vacation to start planning stuff. Start doing weekend getaways, use your PTO, and when you do have those 2 weeks vacation, start planning. Book your trips. Go travel. Because guys, traveling can change your life tremendously. Not only is going to give you a different aspect of the world, you're going to look at the world in a different way. You are going to meet so many different people with different backgrounds and just so much to explore out there. I would love for everybody to have the opportunity to explore the world. And especially those of you who are born in the States or living in the state with a US passport, there is no reason why you shouldn't be traveling, because there are people who wish that they had a US passport where they have access to almost every country in the world. So there is no reason you guys should be taking advantage. I have met people who have told me that they've never left Florida. They've never been outside of Florida. I have. Like the biggest trip is from Miami to Orlando. And I just I just couldn't wrap my head around it. I'm like, how do you not know how much you're missing out on? Can you imagine never leaving your hometown? Your knowledge is so limited, your perspective is so limited, your mindset is limited. Therefore, I believe your dreams and goals are limited as well, because you do not know how much more there is to the world. I strongly believe that you cannot unlock your full potential if you've never traveled. You cannot unlock your full potential because you don't know about all of the other possibilities out there. You don't know about the other opportunities out there because you've never been outside of your hometown or outside of this of your state. Therefore, you can only dream so big. You can only think about so much because you are limited. Your aspect and perspective in life is very limited. So I strongly suggest that you guys go out there, go explore, go travel. Honestly, I have learned more from traveling than I have learned in school or from my parents. Honestly, from meeting people, hearing what they do for a living, hearing their stories. Not only a lot of times their stories are very inspiring, but also it shows you that there's a whole different way of living in the world. The world is literally your oyster. You can live anywhere. And some countries, when you go there, you just feel like society is so much better. It's like there's a sense of peace, a sense of togetherness. You don't always find that in the States. So sometimes when you travel, it just shows you, okay, there's more to life than the States. And sometimes I hear people say things like, the way the dating pool is set up, I am going to die alone, da da da. And I'm like, that is such limitation to give yourself. Go out there. You might leave the country for a week and you meet your husband. You might go to a different state for 2 days and you meet your husband. So for you to stay in one spot, you've never left, you've never traveled, and to say that the way it's looking, I'm gonna die alone because apparently my relationships are not working and that chivalry is dead. There's no more gentlemen in the world. How can you sit here and say that there are no more gentlemen and that chivalry is dead when you've literally only been in one spot your entire life? How? Like, does it make sense? How can you sit here and claim that you are going to die alone with 12 cats? You grew up here. You only have the same group of friends. Your parents are still here coddling you because you literally right there under your nose. You've never left to go experience the real world. You literally don't know anything more than what you've seen. And what you've seen is not a lot, babe. The world is too big for you to think you've seen it all. You have not even seen the half of the potential and the opportunities of the world because you've only been one spot. So traveling is highly necessary. And also the connections you're going to make, the kind of people you're going to meet when traveling is insane. You are going to be mind blown by the people you're going to meet and the lessons you're going to learn from them. Listen, I would rather meet people, hear the stories, be inspired, learn from them, instead of somebody giving me money. Because once you know how to fish, you no longer have to wait on fishermen for your fishes. You can literally go out there and get your own fish. I will always choose information over compensation because I can do so much more with information than whatever the compensation is going to be. Okay, here's a perfect example. For instance, I am a chef. I'm a great cook. You guys know that. Some of you guys know that. Some of you guys don't know that. Would you rather I cook for you 2 nights in a row or that I teach you how to cook? I'm pretty sure you would rather I teach you how to cook because now you can cook the meal anytime that you like. You don't necessarily have to wait on me. I could move to a whole different country and you still know how to cook the meal. Every time you crave it, you go ahead and make it instead of catching a flight to my house or flying me over to your house to make the meal for you. Now you know how to make it. That is why I say I will always choose information over conversation, and traveling give you access to a lot of information from different people with different backgrounds. And honestly, that is worth more than them giving you money. That is worth more than whatever paycheck you are making at your corporate job, that you are letting your PTOs pile up and you are refusing to take a quick trip because you're so scared, because of scarcity, because you feel like you don't have enough time. No, you have a lot of time. You can get so much done. You can get a lot done in a 24 hours trip, let alone 3 days. 3 days is more than enough. More than enough to get familiar with the area. So yes, guys, here are the tips. Number one, make sure your finances are right, because any trip is going to cost you some kind of money. And if you are going outside of the country, the US dollar is a lot in some countries. So you might want to do some math and get that down so that you can know exactly how much you need for excursion, food, drinks, etc. on that trip. Number two, location, timing, and safety. If it's in the States, do a little bit of research to know the safe areas for hotels and Airbnbs, and be prepared. And if you are doing excursions, make sure you book it with a trusted company. That way, you are not getting tricked or scammed. And as far as the timing, like I said, if you work a corporate job, you can start by doing little 2 days, 3 days trips until you're comfortable enough to work your way up. And number three is to have fun, have a good time. Don't be scared. Go out there and enjoy yourself. It's going to be a bit frightening at first, but the more you do it, the more you get used to it. And at the end of the day, the only person you know for sure you can rely on is yourself. So stop waiting on people to travel. Stop waiting on family. Stop waiting on friends. Stop waiting on colleagues to travel. Just go out there and do it by yourself. And it'll be the best thing you do for yourself. It's better to be self-sufficient than to always depend on people. We all know that. Treat traveling the same way. So I hope this video was helpful, and I want you guys to go out there and live your life. Enjoy yourself. Because God forbid something happened to you, you are expendable, babe. That job will replace you quicker than your direct deposit ever hit. Okay, so go out there and have fun, guys. Be safe, be financially prepared, and have fun. Those are my three rules. And I will see you guys on the next episode of the CWC. And I wish you guys a happy new year again. And I hope 2024 is the best year of your life. And for those of you watching this about traveling, I hope this is the year that you decide to start traveling and seeing this big, beautiful world. There is a lot more out there, guys. So don't live your life missing out on the beauties and the wonders of the world. Go out there and explore and have fun. And I know 2024 is going to be our best year yet. I'll see you guys on the next episode. Bye for now.
In a minute, yeah. I gotta stack up a mill in a minute.